And we're live once again. Quarter Life Critics.
That was a harsh intro. You know, I was in the lo-fi. I was kind of feeling it, and then and we're back.
Right, you're like, this is nice.
Whoa,
It actually volume. It seemed a little bit better than usual. Maybe I got my audio differently, but it seems relaxing. Okay, it seemed a little bit more enjoyable. But we are here once again in a new year, 2023, with my best friends, Grant and Patrick. And we're here, Quarter Life Critics, to discuss all things movie and film. But before we get started, guys, I gotta know resolutions. I think I've asked this every year. It's pretty lame, but any resolutions for as we move into the new year?
No, I don't think I have.
We're getting
I
to
didn't
that age.
do mine last time, but I felt so. My last year's one was
Read a
to
book
run a
or something.
10K.
Oh.
No, run a 10K, and it got replaced by like a different. Like I started rock climbing again, and that's been fun. So like while I didn't fulfill my original resolution, I felt like the theme of it of be physically active and like go do something was achieved, and that's why I'm like I don't know what kind of like.
It's like you gotta pick a theme. You know, fitness.
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
Your theme, and
But
you
then it's
achieved it.
vague and like there's something about a nice specific goal that's also good.
Mhm.
But then it's like, do I really like know what I want to do on January 1st?
So, okay. But didn't you have a goal of something like read a book every month or something? Was that you, Grant?
That was me.
How'd that go?
I mean, that was like years ago, but it never went well.
That's like a year ago, I feel like. It was
No.
definitely on this podcast.
Yeah, it was, but it was not last year. Last year was to travel more. That was mine. I wanted
Okay.
to travel every single time I was invited to do something to travel. I told myself to take the opportunity to do it. So hard on the wallet, good on the experiences. So it was fun. I kicked off the year, Chicago, Austin, Mexico, and then we had Electric Forest, well, LA, then Electric Forest, went to New York,
Michigan again.
Michigan again.
That's pretty good. I mean, as far as travel goes.
Las Vegas, San Diego,
Oh, LA, yeah. Or Las Vegas.
and San Diego.
San Diego. What was
pretty
the
good.
best one? Number one.
Number one.
He was
Uh,
number one.
In terms of like place or experience.
All
That's good.
the overall
good-
top.
Let's forget about people because that might make people upset. Let's talk about place, the destination.
Man, it's tough. I mean, probably Electric Forest just because it's like the first year. It's a lot of fun.
There's a lot in that destination, I guess.
There's a lot. Yeah, right. It's like, it was packed 4 days of packed fun. Met some great people, and the weather was it was pretty nice, wasn't it? It wasn't
Yeah,
like
That's
that.
it drizzled
bad.
once one afternoon, and that was about it. It was super hot and nice the rest of the time.
Yeah, and it wasn't like that hot. It was like
During the
bearably
day it
hot.
was. I mean,
It was
I
like-
guess if you're in an open field, it's like,
Yeah,
kill me.
yeah. Well, yeah. So probably that. And then
Okay.
I just got back from Michigan. Michigan was fun again.
Well, like always, my little snippet, I think it was probably similar to a year before, is just working on bigger goals. Rather, I'm really good at like doing things every day, kind of checklist style. That like the little pieces.
Routine, man.
Yeah, routine. Just get it. But then sometimes
Chinese flashcards.
That's right. I do them every day. But like maybe the bigger test or the goal is to take
Jack
a
off.
standardized jack off for the whole day. Got it.
Big picture guy.
Trying to see what bigger things those little building blocks can lead up to. So
Yeah.
2023. Sorry to have derailed the conversation, but as you know, every week, every show, we have a director to guide us through our cinematic journey and experience. And this week is no one other than Mr. Manning himself. So take it away, Pat.
Thank you. Thank you. Tonight, we are going to discuss a film that is a sequel to something that I think we all had a great time with last year at around the same time. This movie is Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, which you guys are probably, those at home, are probably hearing all about. As, you know, Netflix's big kind of ticket show is getting a lot of hype in the media. And we watched it over the holidays, and now we're here to discuss our thoughts, feelings, and aspirations surrounding the movie with you guys.
Was the first movie a Netflix original too?
No.
Mm-mm.
It's Lionsgate, I think.
So
And then they paid. Do you have the figure for that, Pat? On how much they paid for the next two? I think they paid for two installments for $469 million for the rights to the next two movies.
The Glass Onion and the Glass Cabbage, I believe, is the next one.
Hearsay.
All right, you're out of here. We're
It's the
flagged.
cardboard cabbage.
There's information about Glass
The
Onion.
Velvet Cabbage.
Mm.
Velvet Cabbage. Yeah, that's it. Paid a lot of money for that name and concept.
Yeah, they had to throw out the Glass Onion : a Knives Out mystery.
Branding is everything.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can introduce this film. So, Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. It's titled on screen simply as Glass Onion. It's a 2022 American mystery film written and directed by Rian Johnson, produced by him and Ram Bergman. It's a sequel, and it's Benoit Blanc as he takes on a new case revolving around the tech billionaire Miles Braun and Braun's closest friends. Essentially, Braun invites all of his friends over for their yearly retreat and festivities. And mystery ensues.
Mm-hmm. Good old mystery party. It's got Daniel Craig, Kate Hudson, and Edward Norton. I saw the budget for this was only $40 million, and I was kind of shocked because I think the last one we did was Click,
Yeah, that's like,
and that was like $200 million or something. And this setting was pretty extravagant, and they had some big ticket actors, actresses, cameo appearances. But I guess
Yeah.
if you put all the budget in just buying the rights for the film, you don't have that much left.
Yeah,
for the
money-
actual
yeah.
movie. But I don't think they needed more. But it's just kind of interesting.
Also, it's typically the distribution part of a movie's budget.
True.
is that
I don't
true?
know.
I've never.
I don't know.
didn't-
Yeah, it's in marketing. Well,
So-
So
what-
Netflix doesn't have to push out those numbers because they market it.
Instead
And
of
they could
in-house.
probably put it in a
hiring,
different.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. They probably
Or
use some
Or
fun
fake
things.
news. who
Yearly.
knows?
40 million doesn't seem well, but then you have to incorporate the licensing, which was averaged out to, what did you say, probably 240 million a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
around there.
So they need to make more than 280.
Well, the 40 million just seemed low to me. You know?
It does.
Based on what it was, a very visually interesting, like, kind of cool movie. And like also on the IMDb page, there are so many. I think it had like almost 100 awards won, and it was all these cities like film
Won
critics of
already?
like yeah.
What do you mean
Saint,
one?
go look at their IMDb page. It's like
Alright.
St. Louis like Film Critics Society is like saying it's the best movie of the year.
They're all
Award.
the Miami International Film Festival.
Yeah.
I'll give you the
Oh,
ones.
sorry. It's got 19
quick.
wins and 81 nominations, but still, it's just like it was a little weird.
Miami International Film Festival, National Board of Review, New York Film Critics Online, Satellite Awards.
The Satellite Awards.
Yes.
Classic.
The only real thing was the Golden Globes for Best Motion Picture and Daniel Craig, Best Performance by an Actor. But it's just like so many, so many weird. But it just there were some oddities.
This ensemble category, I think, worked well in their favor.
Also, it snuck in. I think a lot of these decisions had to be made earlier because the Golden Globes is in like 6 days, and you probably have to be, nominated a certain period beforehand. I don't know, votes go in, something like that.
So what's your point? Why did it sneak in?
I'm just saying it has a lot more awards or accolades than another movie that just came out because it was released at the end of the theatrical release was at the end of a yearly cycle versus it, you wait for all those things to come out later.
Yeah.
Like the decisions were already made because they played them at the film festivals.
I think they use some of that 200, that licensing fee. And they're like, you guys just vote for this, please. We need some help. We need to recoup this. Okay. So yeah, some odd things, but overall it was we'll get into it. We'll get into it.
Oh well, look at it.
So before we go into any formal segments, what was your guys' general vibe of the movie? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? How did it stack up to the first one?
Well, you want to go first there, Grant?
No.
But not biting at the bit there. Okay, so I know we'll probably get into maybe more detailed reasons, when we come up to our evaluations. But in my opinion, I thought it was a little bit of a letdown compared to the first one. It's I could go for the next 15 minutes explaining reasons why, but I thought it was entertaining and comedic and funny, but I think as far as like, I don't know, a solid mystery film or a piece that like people will talk about later, I don't think it met that standard.
Yeah,
Right.
I thought I was entertained for sure. Like, it was entertaining, but I don't know. It lost. Yeah, maybe some of the mystery was lost. I don't know. I wasn't that. Maybe the way it ended, I didn't feel like it was that clever or cool of an ending, and a little bit ridiculous at points, a little unrealistic at points. We can talk about the ending when we get there, but that's probably the thing that my biggest dig of the film that I can think of off the top of my head.
So you guys are both just a little disappointed, entertained, but didn't live up to your expectations.
Like they like Netflixed it, it's like this giant budget, super beautiful film,
A-list,
but now with like there's like some political undertones in there, and it doesn't plot-wise. I have some problems with it too.
It's not as fun.
Keep it high level.
Yeah, it's not as fun as the first one.
No.
I felt like the first one was more fun and light and I just remember they would be like, oh, maybe it's this, like when they would solve the mystery, you'd get excited and they would kind of play it out, and it felt like it made you feel like a child again. And I think Quinn just mentioned this with the politics. It's like it was like too adult for
the COVID masks and everything.
Yeah,
that's separate. I think.
I think the social. Yeah, that was stupid that they wrote that in. I don't understand. There's no point in doing that whatsoever.
Just for the first 10 minutes or of another dude to be like blast him with a gun, and they're like, all right, we don't have to worry about this anymore.
I don't
Didn't
know
make
why
any
they wrote that in there.
All right, I just want to get a gauge
yeah.
on everyone's like general
Hello.
feelings because I'm in the same boat. Was very excited, still like entertaining, but it did not live up to my expectations, and I left feeling disappointed. So, okay. In terms of, hold on, I cannot see my panel. There we go. All right. There were some high points though, and I think in the first, like, they definitely glammed it up a lot more. You know, you're at a billionaire's retreat. These people are all flashy. They're fun. You know, a little bit of like White Lotus vibes with like the sex appeal and everything going on. Who's your guys' favorite character in this cast? Grant, you want to go first?
Benoit, I liked a
Not
lot.
all at once there, Grant.
Yeah.
I like Duke too. I like Duke. He was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Probably him or Benoit. And in terms of outfit, Benoit's pool fit was immediately like, damn, he has like a little ascot too.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at
Look at
that.
And
He
you
knows he
can't.
looks
This
good.
and this is just the top. The bottom, he has a matching shorts. The same exact. It's like almost like a romper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to actually get in the pool too with those clothes on, but
Yeah.
he just walked right in there, and he was looking pretty stylish. Like Grant, that was also my favorite fit, and I think he's the only entertaining or redeemable character that you actually give two shits about.
What's her name? The
What, Andy or Helen?
Helen. Yeah.
I mean that's why I don't like those characters, because it's kind of similar to the first movie where you have, you know, Benoit and this I don't know, young girl that's being taken advantage of, or they're plotting against this woman, but in this case it's the fucking identical twin, which seems like a cop out.
I thought it was great. Like, what's the likelihood that they found two actresses that, you know, were twins?
That's so good, Grant. I that probably went into the budget, you know,
Yeah.
like finding such talent. Because I mean,
They had
like,
to do a
one
whole
died.
search. Yeah, one died.
But I also enjoyed whiskey here.
Is
I
that
swear to God,
whiskey?
I swear to God, it's a full picture.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
do mode?
I-
Can you,
we
oh, it's
can't-
too,
I-
we can't
I-
do portrait mode, can we?
No, we cannot. What if we
Oh.
move it? Nope. All right, I'm not gonna mess with it, but I swear to God, it's a full body shot. That you just have to trust me. But she was entertaining.
You liked her
right?
outfit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I liked her fit. You know, she was
She was
looking
fit.
good.
Yeah,
She was. She was the eye of envy of that other woman. Deucey Doo.
Birdie.
Birdie. She was looking all right too. But yeah, those are my favorite fits.
Yeah, I felt like, yeah, they were all right. Benoit's definitely the best.
Yeah, he is a suave element, you know, around him, you know.
Yeah, he's got
surround-
all
You
the
just
cool
want to see him
scenes.
solve mysteries. That's what you want to do when you watch
Yeah.
it. And then a lot of it's like not that, and you go, okay.
Well, I feel like actually what I liked about the first movie is that there was like distinct plots. Like Benoit wasn't just like in the middle of it all and experiencing all these things. He was like out of the loop. And this time he was like in the loop.
Yeah, I thought with this film they told you a lot of
Mhm.
what happened, like verbatim. They like literally just told it to you,
Mhm.
so straightforward. Like the whole middle of like you figuring out, you know, Andy, and then Helen was gonna replace her. Like that took like 35 minutes, and it took like 5 minutes to understand. Oh, she has a twin. The twin is gonna go, And then you're just sitting there, you're like, yeah,
All right,
okay,
the twin's
yeah,
coming.
the twin's gonna
Twin's
go.
coming. I get it. It's the
Yeah.
twin. We gotta go.
Yeah, it's like 35 minutes. You're like, yeah, okay. And they're like going to dinner and like, you know, what? I don't know.
It's dangerous. Yep.
Yep. I don't know, because maybe they wanted you to then like, you know, character development with Helen. So you feel worse when she dies, but she doesn't die.
She doesn't die.
But you think she does while they're introducing her. You know, you think she's dead because after she dies with the hot sauce, then they do the backstory.
Right.
It
Yeah.
was-
Right after
it was
that.
a little jarring, you know.
A little
and,
too much non-linear storytelling.
I don't even think it was that. It was just literally like shoving all this information at you, like force feeding. It felt like they were force feeding you the plot. When I think the reason why like a mystery genre is you're kind of solving it with Benoit,
Mm-hmm.
and you're putting things together, and they might pull out a clue, and you're like, wait, what is the significance of that? And then they just keep on moving. You're like,
Mhm.
what? And then you make click. Instead, they're like, this is significant because. And then and they explain it ad nauseum almost, where you're like, okay, yeah, I get it. It's significant. Okay, you know.
They don't let the audience savor it and figure it out for themselves.
Mm-mm.
You get it. You don't even want it anymore.
This is fast food.
Yeah. Well, my favorite character was Duke Cody, second to Benoit, just because I thought he was ridiculous. He kind of had like
This guy.
Yeah.
And there is not a full photo of this. This is the full photo.
Yeah. Whatever you say.
I thought he was pretty funny throughout the whole thing. His little interaction with his mom at the start, to him, I don't know, trying to pimp out whiskey, and I don't know. I thought it was well done. I didn't really like any of the other characters too much. They had potential, but something was missing, I think, for each of them.
Because they're not characters. Like I was thinking about
Yeah.
this, like they're caricatures of people in real life. I mean, I don't know how. Like the director
Yeah.
even went online. He's like, "Oh, it wasn't really like meant to be Elon Musk." But I mean, you're like, it looks like a duck.
Wait, no one
Sounds like a
Alright.
duck. I think it was written in like 2021. So
I thought you
I
were gonna say 20 minutes.
it's written in 20 minutes from 2020 to 2021. So obviously, you know, Elon Musk wasn't getting the kind of hate and news cycle he's getting now.
Yeah.
But you got that guy. You got, I don't know if this guy's some sort of Joe Rogan, Andrew Tate, men's right dude.
Which is like that person doesn't exist on Twitch too. And you're like, I feel
No, it's just like for like,
runs the
I don't
other
know.
direction. You know, Twitch is a streaming service like the other direction, not male, you know, men's right activists, which is I guess fine, just a little inconsistency.
Well, it's just like the caricature. It's just like all this stuff.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's not.
he's just-
It's
Alex
not right.
Jones.
Yeah.
Just put it all in, bundle it up, and make it ridiculous.
You got the
Yeah.
crazy politician. I don't follow politics too much, but I feel like some names are probably similar to that woman. And then you got like the kind of Roseanne Barr type woman who like gets in trouble for tweeting stuff online. I don't know. They're just not original people. They're just
Well, the scientists too.
well, he was just a smart black scientist. I mean, who is?
Yeah, I thought
but
he
it-
could stand on his. I don't know. Yeah, but my biggest thing that it's like when they all betrayed Andy, it felt like super. I don't know, unrealistic. I don't.
At the end,
Yeah, I mean, I guess those people. I don't know. They seemed like they were like all like in the best friends, and then they like literally lied. I guess that's plausible. They just lied to her face, like in court, because Miles, like, I mean,
Right,
they didn't
yeah.
really go. Yeah, they didn't really go into like, could he blackmail them? Like, yeah, quid pro quo. Like, they didn't really go into show how much he was twisting their arm, where you would be like, oh, they didn't even have a choice. You know, they seem like so quick. Like, it'd be more interesting to be like, oh, this is fucked. Like Miles is fucked. Like he is dangling, or he has something on all these people, and they really have no choice. And you can see the pain in them having to betray their friend, but they know they have no choice. There was nothing like that. It was like you didn't care. Like it was basically saying like you're supposed to hate these people.
It's like
Do you
middle
hate
school.
them yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you supposed to hate him in the end? I don't know why they even switched sides at the end.
Me either. It's
I
like
don't
it's literally like middle schoolers. Like you can't sit at our lunch table. Like I don't know.
Okay. I don't. Let's. Patrick, I want to talk about the ending, but I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Know, you're,
Next,
you're the-
next
do
step. Bart
Okay.
to Benoit. There weren't
Mhm.
that many. We've kind of griped on this. I think the first movie was a little bit more fun on the actual detective skills, but when I was going into this, I was trying to be
Trying to solve a
very
mystery.
good detective. Yeah,
Ooh,
I was like, I'm
Pet's read a
gonna
lot.
solve this case. Yeah. And Benoit kind of flexed at the original mystery party with like the crossbow scene. Solved that case in like 5 minutes. Best detective in the world, hands down. Paul Blart Mall Cop, not so good. But how did you guys do? Did you guys pick up on like the drink switch? Did you guys pick up on any of the other, like, did you have this story evolving? It's kind of hard to say because like this is like,
So
I don't know.
I listened a little bit back to our first review when we did Knives Out, and I was kind of like, I just fumbled it. I think I had some preconceptions since it was the second viewing, and I just misremembered things. This time, also completely fumbled it. Was just two in my head, thinking like, oh, this is gonna be a cool mystery to solve, and
You gave it too much credit.
I did, because I had like a Scream in my mind where I thought there was going to be two different killers, and someone killed Andy, but someone else killed Duke, and I knew like the general plot of like, I mean, obviously, oh, this guy steals from everything. He's stealing from this woman. She's the real genius. But I thought before this twin scene, I thought like she smashed that box and then like recreated it because she's such a genius, and then like shipped it to Benoit.
Yeah.
But
same.
that didn't happen. There was only one killer, which I got wrong. And I don't think I still don't like it because in the first film there was a clear motive. I still get it, clear motive. Like this, it was about the will, the inheritance was going to Marta. They didn't want that to happen. In this movie, I still don't understand, like, why Miles Braun killed Duke. I don't.
Because he figured
showed
out
the-
that Miles killed Andy.
But considering all things that he did before, he went out, he killed Andy. Makes total sense. Clear motive. Then say all of his plans were true. He just has his friends over, and then news comes out where that Andy suspected suicide. Why isn't that what he expected? Didn't he expect news of a suicide to come out?
It's because she was there too.
Yeah.
But doesn't that just make things weird? You go,
I don't know either why. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really understand why Duke died.
Because I think they were trying to say, oh, he, now he saw a crime of opportunity after Benoit like solved his mystery so fast and then said like all these people want to kill you. Then Miles was like, oh, well, maybe I can get away with this.
you think he was gonna kill someone at the party with
No. No, he had no plan. That's
no
the
plans.
problem with that's stupid too. But like the two, well, I guess just Duke's death was spontaneous too. I don't know. I also don't like how we were in that, committed. What's the word? Like we were in it for Duke's death, and then they kind of flipped it and said, well, actually, we're in it on Andy's suicide. You know, they like flipped the whole thing on its head where like you're like in it and I was like in it for Duke dying, figuring this crime out,
Yeah.
right? Like that's the first death. No, just kidding. There was another death you didn't know about that already happened.
That's why I don't like
Off screen. Yeah. Just,
Off
Benoit
screen.
being the
Like, it's already
insider.
happened. Yeah.
Because it's like Benoit was the insider and the audience was the outsider. And I think it would have been much more interesting if we were with Helen as the insider and Benoit was the outsider.
And he was trying to figure out.
Yeah. And he's like, who can I trust?
Oh.
That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. And that was what happened in the first kind of movie, where it's like he just shows up with Darius from Atlanta, I forget his name. But and
That's a good
he doesn't know who to trust. Everyone's unreliable. And he's kind of having to figure it out. And in this one, he knows who to trust. He knows who's untrustworthy. And it kind of is just it's the audience who
Yeah.
doesn't have the information. It's like cheap.
I didn't think Duke's leverage was at all good. Like
No.
it was like hinging. They're like, well, like the key point of this plot is like, or this mystery is like Duke was driving and he like saw like hit your baby blue car. Like, I thought the whole mystery.
Wouldn't they look into everyone's alibis anyways? Like, you know, but I guess they were trying. I don't know. They were saying he's so dumb.
Yeah, everything you read online is like, oh, it just always goes back to, oh, Miles Braun is an idiot, and that's why all of this happened. And you're like,
That's
does
stupid.
that make you feel good? I think it's people just projecting like
This
"Oh,
writing-
Elon
this-
Musk hate.
This was written by an idiot. That's why.
It was the same writer as the first one, though. I don't know what happened.
Unfortunately.
I don't know.
I thought it was going to be Birdie. I thought that first mystery plot that Benoit solved was going to be because they're always talking about, oh, it's in plain sight.
Birdie
It's
was not
always-
even a player. She was not even a character either. She was just like comedic
Dumb.
relief. So stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Whiskey
I-
didn't really do anything. Helen, like you were tricked on who Andy was. She was mysterious, and then you're like,
an
okay,
hour
now,
in.
like an hour in. Duke
Lionel was
died.
nothing.
Yeah, Lionel. Yeah. So then it's just Miles who.
Peg was nothing.
Peg. I don't even think
The
Peg was in the
assistant.
final scenes.
She wasn't, no.
Who is Peg?
She's
That
the
was the
short haired. She's like, my resume only has.
She was making sure Birdie didn't tweet anything.
She kept the phones. Yeah.
Okay.
Who
I feel like
also
we're already
sees-
moving to the so this movie doesn't qualify for, our detective rating. We're all Benoit as far as I'm concerned. Because the movie was
Did you get it, Grant? I kind of went on a tirade.
What do you
I
mean?
mean, were you pegging? You're like, oh, it's this Elon Musk dude, or were you just in it for the ride?
I was not that. I think they lost me a little bit.
Okay.
And then I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna sit back and watch this.
Okay.
It didn't feel like a mystery. It didn't feel like I was invited to solve the mystery.
So I observed.
Yeah, so I observed. I took the hint.
When I was watching, someone noticed that Braun Miles literally just handed Duke his glass, and I was like, it can't be that. I'm missing something. It can't be that. So like I knew that Miles handed Duke the poison, but I'm like, there has to be something else to it. But
That's, I think, good on their intention. I think that was the intention of the
So you
film.
noticed that.
I didn't notice it, but someone noticed it.
Someone
and,
close to you.
yeah. They noticed it and they made it known. And I was like, what's gonna happen? Like there has to be more, and there was not more.
There's none.
All right, so I honestly think this movie's getting a lot of positive buzz on the internet.
Uh-huh.
Why? Just because it's like Elon hating boners.
I think so. I think there's this incredible timing where that's
It's
I
trendy.
mean, he's getting a hell of a news cycle. Just like whatever Twitter or whatever happens, and some articles being pushed out, and this guy's basically Elon Musk, and everything goes down to, oh, you're a dumb idiot and you don't know anything. People go, yeah, yeah,
I'm better than him.
right. I don't have millions, but I'm better, or billions.
Which also, well, yeah, I agree, and I think even like White Lotus, you see it like that. I feel like it got really. I didn't hear anything about the first season, and maybe this is just me, but I heard so much about the second season, which I really thought was a very good show. I liked, but it dealt with kind of like rich, out of touch people as well. A qualm about this, related to that, if it's like, I didn't like the legality of Andy being like with the napkin, because that's not how legal stuff works. Like if you're a co-founder, you're not a co-founder because you prove you had a napkin. You're a co-founder, you have half of the company. Like you can't just retroactively be like, oh, you have 0% of the company now. Like that's not gonna happen.
I've got a napkin.
Yeah, that's not how it works. Like they built the company with you. It wasn't valued anything. Now it's valued this. Were they an employee from the start? Yes. Were they a co-founder from the start? Yes. It's like they have it's like a divorce. You're like, what? They have half the company. You're not getting screwed like that. You're not.
Yeah, imagine J.K. Rowling, like the Harry Potter author, was very famous for being very poor when she wrote Harry Potter. And she said she wrote it on napkins at a coffee shop for the first book. So imagine someone's just like, actually, I wrote it. Those are my napkins. Like, here's the first book on Starbucks napkins from 2001 or whatever. And of course,
yeah.
just like,
So I think that's when I started to be disinterested. Was like that point. I was like, this is okay. This is stupid.
Did you guys watch Free Guy ever?
Mm-mm.
No.
With Ryan Reynolds.
Typing away like a storm.
I was like, I totally forgot the name of this movie, but it's the same sort of idea where, there's some IP stolen from the original owners, and like they're basically finding the napkin in the game where they have to like prove that, oh, this is the original code.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong? That's not like that would never happen, right? Like you don't need a napkin.
No, dude, I think it's like tons of it, like the correspondence, mails, filings of businesses, texts.
Yeah, it's not like one IP is the company. Like the company's worth is not. You can have an IP and unless you copyright it and like patent it yourself under your sole name, then I think it's
very silly.
It's silly.
Another reason this movie's getting love, Netflix bought it. I don't know what they do. They push it. They're so good at just like pushing shit into the.
Oh, you mean like the media, like the reviews and stuff?
The reviews, everywhere. TikTok.
Like, so why do they want us to watch it? Is my thing. Like that's what I don't understand, because I have Netflix. Do they really benefit from me clicking play?
Yeah, engagement, bro. That's everything.
I think so. I mean, that's their whole, and then it does crazy numbers.
Or are they trying to get people to re-subscribe?
Having good movies is how you get people to subscribe.
I think exclusive content. If everybody's talking about Glass Onion and you're like, well, my subscription ran out 3 months ago, might as well fire it up.
Companies are valued on like their, active users and like what Netflix and other like content creators. It's like how much time you spend with that, activity, whether it's Instagram, Snapchat, Netflix. They're all just competing for the user's time in their day.
Because no one gives a shit about those like 20, 30 like no-name movies. Like, sure that they have them on there, but people aren't talking about them. You get people talking about shit. It's like
it's rare.
It's rare. So people like Elon. They like Netflix. It also pushes back the other way, because once you get like one side of the Elon hate, then you get like hardcore Elon lovers and other political people chiming in. Like,
I didn't even really think of Elon when he was not a figure that like popped into my head like immediately.
I thought I didn't do any like research beforehand, but after like from watching it, I was like, this dude looks like Elon. He has the similar companies, and
He was skinnier than Elon.
he's a little skinnier. Yeah, right. Not
got like
Ryan
a
Reynolds.
Barrel in his stomach somehow. Edward Norton.
Edward Norton. Yes, thank you.
It was also very pretty, very photogenic. You know, it's a very
Mhm.
well shot. Costumes were good. Everything was good.
White Lotus was like that. But
Mhm.
White Lotus is so much better writing. It
Mhm.
was believable.
Mhm.
Watch season 2 yet?
Yeah.
I just started episode 1.
Enjoy it.
I have to. So far, I'm not impressed yet, but we'll see.
It's fun. It's fun.
Okay.
It's fun.
So I think the next question I have for you guys, how do we compare it to the first movie? I think we all kind of, let me know if I'm wrong, but we all think this was not better than the first movie. Did they improve anything? Did they do anything better that you were impressed by?
It made
Or
me
was
think
it-
of stereograms in a while. I used to do those as a kid, where they you like
Or-
cross your eyes and you do the puzzles. I had a whole book. I was like, oh, I should find that book.
Like in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, they send out the puzzle to people, and you go, no, the COVID stuff was just stupid. I don't know why that was specifically written in. You either deal with it or you don't deal with it. You know, I thought they were going to have masks on the whole time, and it was going to be more prevalent, but I don't know.
Wait, I'm just thinking of this now about the boxes. Like, why did Andy get a box?
Quote, Miles Braun is an idiot, quote. I think from what I've read is like, I don't know, he's done it every year out of just tradition, and
But if he was gonna kill her, why did he send it to her?
I think he sent it to her before he killed her. So he sent it, and then obviously just wasn't looked at, and then news later developed that she had this evidence, and then he went over and murked her.
But why not take the box then? If he's over there killing her.
You don't want to remove. You just gotta get in, get out. You don't want to start digging around when you kill someone.
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe it was in a closet somewhere. I don't know. It's a good question, because why would you?
Well, yeah.
He's
Just
dumb.
don't
I don't
send
know.
him.
He's dumb.
If
He's
you're
dumb.
like the whole, you're
he has
gonna like
millions.
kill him. Like it wasn't like it was a premeditated murder. So like, why put in all the effort to make another box? He says it's expensive anyways. He probably would just not send her one
He didn't make it. He just texted someone to do it.
and sent it to Andy. You'd just be like, don't send this to Andy. Like they were fighting. It seemed like they were fighting for months. So like, why would she should have just not been invited like a long time ago.
Maybe you just want to keep everything status quo. I don't.
But everyone was like, why are you here?
He's dumb.
Maz is dumb.
Yeah.
I like the island a lot. I wish I got
Mhm.
to see more cool rich person shit. I
hmm
mean, there was a lot of
Yeah.
it, but the no smoking had me laughing. Better than the first one. It's a little tough to answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't have to go backwards then. Let's go forward. The Velvet Cabbage. Where do we want to see the third installment, as they've already, committed a whole bunch of money to the third title? What do you guys think? Where do you want to see it go?
I would like to see a mystery that's not obvious, but maybe they won't do that because it's like kind of goes against their thing. Oh, it's always in plain sight. Whatever. I like you can just go and like the first and the second movie kind of, you just go and you're like, who do people hate the most? That guy. He killed him. And I guess maybe more of the mystery is like how or when or what. But I'd like to see more clues. I want, even if they're red herrings, like I felt in this film there were a lot of motive based like deductions People were just figuring out like why,
Mm-hmm.
what reason they would have to kill Miles, and so I think that having some more clues would be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. It would be nice rather than Benoit just kind of seeing the character development through motive clues.
Sure.
You know, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like going back to the roots, but also like they should lean on like Agatha Christie and like mystery novels that are very successful.
Mm-hmm.
It's not flashy necessarily. It's not the most hated person. I think the reason why people like mysteries is the twist that is not like it's like a reasonable twist too. You're like, oh wow. You know, I think Agatha Christie's most famous books are that. Like her most successful ones are like, oh my god, that was a ride. It took you on a ride. You were like totally sure, and you were thinking, oh, it could be this, it could be that. Like the reason why people like mysteries is you're solving while you're going along with it. I didn't feel like I was solving anything. I felt like it was, and maybe because it was too adult, maybe it was like too much social commentary. It just felt, I don't know. Like Quinn said, they Netflixed it.
They Netflixed it. Little less Deus Machina too. I don't like this journal in the chest. I mean, maybe for action films kind of plays out better, but and just happened to have some hot sauce that we talked about earlier, and
yeah, have her die. I think it's more interesting right there.
Mm-hmm.
Have her die.
It's tragic.
Yeah.
I would definitely like a little less political commentary.
Mm-hmm.
I like a noir film, you know, maybe like black and white, taken back to, you know, the streets of Paris in the 90s or something. Like what made him popular, you know? How did he become the most famous detective?
You know?
Probably nailed it there.
Yeah, that's good.
That'd be cool.
And
I don't think it has to be in plain sight, because that was just for this movie, The Glass Onion.
It's true. The title of Glass Onion.
I thought there were themes of that in the first one, but I could be wrong.
I mean, that's just like murder mystery. That's just the theme, like clues and stuff. Like it's just like, it's one of you guys. Who is it? You know, it's a family. But I think a noir like origin story would be kind of cool. But hopefully they don't go into political commentary. It's successful, so who knows?
Well, yeah, I like reading everything that I can see, and some people have brought up that, you know, the first one was kind of similar in political undertones, where you had this like rich, you know, out of touch family that, you know, didn't give a shit about Martha, didn't even know what country she was from. But in my opinion, somehow that played out a lot just more balanced and natural. Like I didn't feel like anyone was pushing anything on me, or maybe it was, I don't know, it was written better.
It felt more real.
Yeah.
Like they had that little kid, like
real.
Remember the little kid who was like the neo-Nazi on Twitter? Like that was like, I feel like that's like believable, you know, like a radicalized 12-year-old on Twitter. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's like just, and this one was taking the, you know, the fringes of people and putting them all in a room together, or the fringes of society, versus like a normal rich family, and they probably wouldn't give a shit about where the maid's from.
Yeah. South America, yeah, that's nice.
South America, Guatemala, Ecuador.
Change it every time. It's their inside joke.
She smokes the reefer.
All right, we're gonna go to our patented report card here, and we're gonna give our thoughts. We've given a lot of thoughts here.
I'm excited to grade this. Thrilling.
Yeah. We're going with setting, the characters, and the plot. Pretty standard.
Bread and butter.
Quinn, setting. What do you think of The Glass Onion?
I'm gonna give it a 3. I like I like the island setting where, rich person's paradise. I thought it could have been a little bit more expanded upon, going into different areas, different zones. Kind of seemed like they were just in the one main room, and they did the Mona Lisa stuff, which was cool, and Google alerts, funny, automatic protection, but this is probably one of the better things of the movie, so I'll go 3.
Mm-hmm. Grant, setting?
Yeah, maybe 2.5. I like the setting. It was, I don't know, but just watching like White Lotus, I feel like White Lotus was way better. It was like more sexy, This I thought like you liked that the smoke alarm and stuff. I thought that was like, and I didn't like the Mona Lisa thing. Was like, I don't know. It's a little over the top and I don't know. It's like a caricature.
Too extreme, right?
Yeah.
You're like, all right, it's the Mona Lisa's also some sort of epitome of like rich snobbishness.
I guess it's like
Where
you wouldn't be able to rent the Mona Lisa. I just
yeah, that part. As soon as they had it there, then it was unbelievable in the first place. So
yeah, but it's like full of things like that, But anyways,
I just like the Google alert was. Ding.
I'm gonna go 3. I think this was the highlight for me. Thought it was very beautiful. Thought it was pretty. Even like everyone's little setting beforehand as they're introducing the cast. I thought those are all pretty cool too. Like Benoit in his bathtub, it's kind of funny. They're playing like Among Us. Kate Birdie like at her party.
I like that.
I just thought it was like pretty well crafted at every stage. But definitely the high part for me. Grant, characters. Let them have
2,
it.
me
Okay.
1.5. 1.5.
Which one? All right.
I didn't believe any of the characters. Benoit was the only good one.
Mm-hmm.
I just like there were caricatures, besides maybe Helen, but I don't know. I like good characters.
Don't we all?
I don't really care about any of them. I guess Andy was the only person I liked when I thought like, I felt bad
When I
about her
thought she
dying.
was Andy.
Yeah, when I thought she was Andy, I thought she died, and neither of those were true. So,
Deceived.
mm-hmm.
Quinn?
I'm trying to
4
decide.
stars for Whiskey.
4, yeah. Oh, I guess she might bump it up a little bit. That was a good writing choice. 4.5, the highest I can go. No,
Higher.
I'm gonna go with 1 star. The more I think about it, I think even the plot is more feasible than the characters because they're not like real people, and they don't matter at all. So
That's how they paint them to us, though. They want you to hate all of them. They're all like not redeemable. Like they all betrayed like their real friend for money. Like no one's rooting for any of them.
But like,
And
I
they're
don't
not-
even believe why they like.
No,
It's not
yeah,
even-
that's
Yeah.
I guess, do we have to give it? Is the lowest? Is the lowest 0 stars, or is it a half a star?
Half a
guys?
star. Half
Really?
a star. I think so.
That's.
yeah.
I think that's in professional movie critic terms. I think it is the case.
You can't have a null rating.
So yeah, I liked Benoit and I liked Whiskey, and some of the people had some funny lines. So I'll give it a 1.5. I've talked myself up.
I'm also gonna give it 1.5 just because of Benoit. Everyone else can. But Duke was like, all right, he can be the half. Benoit's the star, and then Duke can be a half a star. And Duke's mom. All right, plot. I'm gonna go
really
first.
quick, just because I wanted to check. there's no agreement on what the lowest rating should be. Some critics say 1 star, some say half star, some say 0. So
Grant, when you're the
ours is half star.
director,
Yeah.
you can modify to
I was
no
curious.
star.
I was just
Yeah,
curious. I was just curious. Ours is half star.
that's kind of funny though.
Yeah.
No stars would be so disrespectful. I
It
saw this
also
in
wouldn't
theaters
work
and
with
just
our photos here.
Yeah, we need some new photos.
Yeah,
we could just have our mouth open, like avoid,
No.
Plot half star is so. I was so sad.
Yeah, you can throw me in on that.
Yeah,
book.
I'm gonna do that as well, guys. I was like, because I was getting ready, I was like, what's all right? Characters seem a little better than the plot. I gotta, like I said, the movie hinges upon, I mean, I guess it's 2 murders, but one murder's dumb. But the one murder that everyone cares about in the beginning, that's like, okay, finally, this is going to be the murder we talk about. It's just a very dumb killing. And then you go through a bunch of dumb reasons why this dumb murder happens. And the reveal is like so underwhelming. Where it's like, oh, why was Duke smiling? And then you're like looking at the phone and you're like, I guess that could have happened. I don't believe it.
He just had like poison ready to go too. Like, I don't know. But yeah.
Well, if he's that deathly allergic to that much pineapple juice, too, wouldn't like him or a whiskey have like an EpiPen on them?
And can't you just smell pineapple juice? Like,
Yeah.
And the
And,
first
like,
one
that-
was so great.
Wouldn't you not be able to have pineapple juice in the building whatsoever if you're that deathly allergic that
If your
one
best
sip
friend-
will literally kill you? One sip will literally kill you. You shouldn't have pineapple juice in the building.
yeah,
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't mistakenly do that. But who knows? He was.
Do you guys
pretty
remember
rowdy
the
at pool.
You remember the plot of the killing of the first film, on kind of what happened, on how it was done?
I remember there was a gutter, and the stairs.
Well, the biggest thing was so that this Harlan guy died, the famous book writer who was a likable, rich person, and the ransom, he switched the medicines in the bottle. So I think that there was one morphine and something else, and he took out the naloxone, which was the antidote, and but like it all hinged upon, Marta actually gave him the right medicine because she was like able to tell the viscosity of the liquid. She doesn't even I guess she doesn't look at the labels, but it was, I don't know, it was very tragic and fulfilling that, he didn't have to die. It was actually a suicide. He actually cut his own throat when he didn't need to. And it's just like, wow, dude, that's great. I don't know. It's so much more engaging and entertaining than this.
So much depth to the story, Like you're building like characters on multiple fronts and making the audience like you're hitting them in the feels.
That's why I was excited. This is the glass onion. Onions have layers. I was excited.
But
there were
they
not
lead to
many layers,
nothing,
though.
Grant.
Yeah. Well, just because I brought up the pineapple thing, that was probably my favorite line, though, because he was like, "Duke, don't dance with pineapple."
That was pretty good.
I
line.
like that line.
He's a funny dude.
Yeah,
Up. All right, so probably one of our lowest scores ever.
definitely.
I didn't think it was going to be like that. I honestly thought you guys were going to like this film.
And like before you watched it, or when we were logging on here.
After I watched it, I said, I thought that was a little, too much and too over the top, and I thought maybe at least one of you would have enjoyed that.
This
aspect.
has happened with me before, and it's like, well, one, I think it's because we're friends, and we like seek to understand like each other like truly, and two, I think discussing a movie is really important because you kind of start to flesh things out. Like when I entered this, I wouldn't. If we pulled up the the report card and rated at the beginning of the episode, I don't think I would have gone 1 stars on the plot. But then just like hashing it out with everyone, you're like, Everyone's pointing out. You're like, because you have like, oh, I was kind of disappointed in this, and this, and then Quinn's like, well, what about this, and this, and you're like, oh yeah, that sucks too. And Pat's like, well, what about this, and this? And you're like, did it all of it suck? I guess so, because you were all noticing different things, and none of them are good.
By the end, you're like, why the hell did you get a box?
Yeah. I thought one of you guys would like it too, but I'm not surprised. Like,
because in our discussion too, in a little script, you're talking about movies getting a lot of praise, and I'm like, all right, Pat liked this one, that's.
I think we were excited about. I don't know. It's high.
I was
high
so
bar
excited.
was that,
It's a lot of hype.
And I'm pretty sure we ended the first one saying, I'm so excited this is a thing. I cannot wait for the next one so we can get more mysteries.
I love a good mystery.
I'm not I'm not dying for the next one. Let's just say that.
They were shipping out those invitation boxes to like content creators too, and having them open them. I don't know if you've watched anybody that did that. Yeah. So like they made real life puzzle boxes just like in the movie, and they like shipped them to people, and people made content around them.
Netflix in it.
Netflix. I got some moolah.
That's the problem with Netflix. They don't give a fuck if it's good. They just want you to watch it. How the fuck is it rated 93% on another rating site, not IMDb?
Some would call that rotten.
Yeah.
So IMDb, our over/under for IMDb, our formerly patented.
I like the formerly patented review where we decide whether the true rating of Glass Onion: A Knives Out Mystery is over or under the IMDb rating. Yeah,
Sitting
that
at
one.
a 7.3. I'm gonna go under. Shocker.
Sorry, my thumb's a little to death. Yeah. I'm under as well.
Why,
Yeah.
Quinn?
Go rewind a bit.
Yeah, I'm under too.
No. Well,
I think do you remember your scores for the first movie? I think it was a 7.9
Okay.
on IMDb, and there's a split opinion between the three of us.
Mm.
Who went under?
Who do you think?
You.
Yeah, Quinn.
No, I actually went over. Our descending member was actually the director himself.
Me?
Patrick
Wow.
Because I don't think it was anything to do with the movie. I think you were a little dissatisfied that you solved it a little quicker than you would have liked. So I think we all agreed it was a good film, but I think you're like, I knew it was Ransom within the first 20 minutes.
Wow. How annoying of me.
Yeah. So now like this must be really under, Like you didn't even have anything to solve,
I was looking for things to do.
Yeah. You're fiddling your thumbs.
Mm-hmm.
And you did notice the drink switch. I also
didn't
don't.
notice it.
But I mean, I guess you were parlayed to it.
Parlay.
I think
Parlay.
I just don't like. I mean, I guess there is no difference between unreliable narration and scenes, but it's like I think I believed the account of that he took the wrong drink because I could never find a motive, and I still can't find one. So that's
Parlay is a reference to our first episode of Quarter Life Critics, Pirates.
Please check it out.
Please check it out.
QuarterLifeCritics.com. So 3 unders.
All right. That was a good episode, but a disappointing watch. Next episode, we're hoping to do better. We're hoping to move on to bigger, grander things. And our choice, the envelope, Mr. McHale, open it.
Ooh.
it's open. It's a volcano. It's I figure we haven't gone
No
down
pressure.
this route before, and it's a different type of film. It's a documentary film for next time, and it is named Fire of Love, a
I
2022
almost saw
National
this.
Geographic film. Oh, Grant
I
almost
saw
watched
this
it.
at the Cleveland International Film Festival.
Ooh,
It was
I
like
was.
circled. We were thinking about it.
What? Why didn't? If it's circled, doesn't that mean you go to it?
No, because there's like conflicts.
Too-
You can like watch
Oh.
one in like this time
Set
zone.
conflicts. You're like, damn, dude.
I can only do one. Yeah, this is about like two like volcano researchers, right? Or something like
Yeah,
that.
I don't think there's any spoilers in saying that, it's two kind of lovers. I think I don't know if they're married, but they're together and
But they're banging.
And they go out and they research volcanoes and they end up, tragically dying in a volcano eruption.
Oh,
Which
I
I mean,
didn't know
that's
that.
that's let's build with the film. So I don't think I'm spoiling anything there. So this one was also, I was informed of this by someone close to me. So I figure it was a nice change of pace from
Was it your significant other?
it was.
My wife.
I think it's streaming on Disney Plus. That's where you can watch it. It's not Netflix.
No. I actually have had, after I picked Click, I already came up with my next film, and it's also a documentary. So we're gonna have
Dueling
next
documentaries.
dueling documentaries.
I
Well,
actually picked
maybe I
my
shouldn't have
next
spoiled
one
that.
too, and it's also a
Also a
documentary.
It's also a
Documentary.
documentary.
Good old Mexican standoff here.
So I don't think there's any more to describe. I think it's a nice hour and a half runtime, Disney Plus, and
That's not too bad.
yeah, no mystery there. So that's Fire of Love for next time.
Who did it? The volcano?
You'll have to watch to find out. So some say he was framed.
They jumped.
Yeah. So I think that's it for me. Any Grant, you want to close us out?
Yeah. Thank you all for listening. We will see you guys next week with what, a Fire of Love? That's what it's called?
Just Fire of Love. No
Fire.
Fire of Love.
Fire of Love. In the meantime, we hope, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If this is on your favorite podcast, you can find us on all the popular podcast platforms. We also have an Instagram, which we use primarily if we want to, talk to y'all. Our handle is just Quarter Life Critics, one word. And then we have, you can email us quarterlifecriticspodcast@gmail.com. And we do have a site, quarterlifecritics.com.
Which redirects to our YouTube site, which is the best place to watch us because of all of our clips and live engagement. And we're live there every other Wednesday,
Every other Wednesday.
8:30 p.m. Eastern.
And we welcome you to check out, if you missed it, our last week's episode where we did our first real live session. It's a real fun one of my favorites. So please check it out. And with that, we will see you guys next week with Fire of Love.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.